From the alley-oops at Kezar to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time,
It is.
and we are back for another mock draft, Horst.
Another one?
Yep.
I feel like we have another person who hasn't done one yet.
That would be me.
Oh,
I haven't done one yet.
That's right.
Right.
It was you. Oh, my bad. My bad, Vince McMahon Jr. over there.
So, mock drafts are so much fun to do.
They are.
And, you know, one of the things, you just never know how things are going to go, but this one went pretty well for me. I think I enjoyed it very much. First off, I did not know if I was going to get, which quarterback, Justin Fields or Zach Wilson. I like both of them. I prefer Zach Wilson, and Zach Wilson fell. Fields went 2, so Zach Wilson was there, and that's who I selected with pick 3. I selected Zach Wilson of BYU to lead the team into the future, and I was very happy that this happened.
Hold the applause till the very end. So.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't think this is a surprise to anyone.
No.
Okay.
No. Not only is it not a surprise, I think the only surprise is that he's there at 3, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that you would take him.
Right.
It's that he's there.
Well, and that was the thing. Whoever wasn't there, I was going to, whoever was left, I was going to take. It was Fields or it was Wilson,
Wait,
and Wilson just happened to be there.
You weren't going to trade out of pick 3 and take another dude like a Kyle Pitts?
No.
Okay.
But what I was going to do was I was targeting another player at the end of the first round, early second round.
Oh my.
And I got my opportunity, and I made a trade.
Oh boy. Hold on a second. Wait, a trade, you say? God,
I did.
love
I decided that I was going to move up to 28, and I gave up a 2022 second round pick and a 2023 third round pick to move up, and I selected Zaven Collins, linebacker from Tulsa. I think if you watch this, you know that he is one of my favorite players. Alex also loves him as well.
Accurate.
He's an outstanding outside linebacker. He can pretty much do it all. He can rush the passer. He can play in base sets, and he's great in coverage. Tremendous athlete. I just had to get him. He was just a guy that I couldn't let pass. Yes, I give up future capital, and I'll worry about that another day. But for today, I needed to have a first-round linebacker. This ensures, too, that if something happens and Fred Warner gets hurt, I have a Zaven Collins to help fill the void with Dre Greenlaw.
Is he a good human being?
I'm sure he is, Horst. Actually, I have watched a video about him. He's a fantastic human being.
Good to hear.
Fantastic human being, even more fantastic of a football player. Actually, that might be a stretch to say. The levels of fantastic of this guy, just what he is overall as a person and as a player, off the charts. High quality character guy, gonna fit right in with that locker room.
100%.
I wonder if you're gonna need to come up with a new nickname because Hot Boys may not work anymore.
Well, and he's only played linebacker for a few years. He
True.
played different positions in high school and then, translated at Tulsa. So he's only developing. Sky's the limit. This guy's a definite first-round talent. That's why I went up and got him. After that, I decided that I really needed to stay pat at 43 and see what was going to happen. When I got there, I had some trade opportunities. Some people wanted to move up. The guy I wanted, I thought I could get, by moving back. But I had 2 guys that I really liked. So I thought, shoot, let's trade back. I will probably still get one. So I traded with this Jacksonville Jaguars, and they came up, and I sent them 43 and 194. So I gave them 2 picks, and they gave me 45, 65, and 106.
Oh my word!
So I was able to turn 2 picks into 3, and I was, very happy to pick up 65 and then upgrade from 194 to 106. That was big for me. I really enjoyed that. And so then when I was sitting there with my next pick, I knew that I needed to do something. So I went ahead and traded again with the Raiders.
Holy double trade alert.
I double traded back. The Raiders wanted to come up to 45, so I traded them 45 and 117. Once again, gave up something to move up, to move back. Got 48, 79, 80, and 121. So I got myself a haul by giving 117. I took a little bit of a lump getting 121, but I improved in the other spots. So then at pick 48, it was time for me to make a selection, and I selected a nickel guy that all of us love, Elijah Molden from Washington. He's going to play in the slot. He can translate to free safety in the future, but a smart player that can do it all. 100% had to make this pick. He was somebody I targeted, somebody I really wanted to get, and the number one guy that was next for me on my list.
That's a nice little trade haul you pulled out.
Right. Yeah, it was. I was kind of nervous trading back twice, but I was able to do it. And then kind of just maneuvering where it was trade a pick, an extra pick to get an extra pick from them. Maybe just switching positions really worked out, I thought.
Well, it gives you a lot of that kind of draft strategy too. Allows you the opportunity to maneuver around even more, trade back further, or trade up if you feel you're too far back and aren't going to be able to get a guy. You've stacked up extra picks to do that.
100%, and you're right because I didn't wait long, and I knew I had to trade up to get a guy. So 10 picks later, I traded up. I was sitting at 65, but I moved up to 58, traded with the Baltimore Ravens, and I gave them 65 and 180, and I came up to select the guard that we all like, Wyatt Davis. Made sure I got him. I was afraid to let him go any further. I was actually surprised he was there. I was content with waiting until 65, and when he fell, I was like, I have to make a move, and I did and got him. And you know what? This is kind of the theme. Now that I had some draft capital, I had guys that I wanted to target, and I wasn't done with that. I traded up to 67. So I was at 79. That was my next pick at what I had picked up. But I traded up to 67, and I got 67 and 233. So I took a 7th round pick, but I gave up 79, 172, and 230. So I gave up a little bit to come up and get the edge rusher from Washington, Joe Tryon. And I needed Joe Tryon. Now I've taken 2 Washington Huskies, but it was really big to be able to get the guys that I wanted to play out there. And Tryon is a solid player, and he's one of my favorite players in the entire draft. My second favorite edge rusher in the entire draft. So it was somebody that I thought would fit nice in Chris Kaceric's wide 9, and somebody that I knew we could count on in the future. So Horst got Jalen Phillips in his. I got Joe Tryon. You got Joe Tryon.
True.
So there's definitely, we feel there's an edge presence that needs to be, addressed, and we did that.
Correct.
Now, for my next 2 picks, I stand pat. So I had pick 80 from one of my future trades, and right there I got the cornerback from Stanford, Paulson Adebo. He was the corner that I was targeting, to play outside. He's somebody that I really like. He's climbing up boards. He's showing the athleticism, the ball skills to be a big-time player. So I had to go get him. I know this is a guy that you guys both wanted to get as well. Luckily, I had pick 80 from the trade that I got, and he was sitting there. I think if I would have waited any longer, I might have lost him. That's why I didn't try to do anything cute. I just made sure I picked him.
See, that's where I made that mistake where I got cute.
Yeah, it happens. When you're trying to build draft capital, getting other guys, it gets like that.
And that's what happened in mine. And the inverse happened because I picked up Asante Samuel. I tried to not get cute. Tried to do the opposite of that. I tried to stand pat and stand firm, and ended up just missing out on him. Yeah,
and then my next pick is one of my original picks at 102. And with that pick, I couldn't pass up on my second favorite running back in the entire draft. Najee Harris is my favorite running back. My second favorite running back is Demetric Felton because of the things that he can do. The way that he can be used by Kyle Shanahan to not just run the ball, but also play in the slot. Tremendous athlete and somebody that he can use as a positionless role. So 100% I needed to get him, and he was there. I think if I would have waited or moved back, the Rams probably would have taken him right behind me. He would also fit with McVay.
Yep.
And I didn't want to let that happen. I wanted to bring him to the Bay, so I did.
Can't complain about that one. That's a good ball player.
Yeah, I liked it. Now, my next pick was at 106. I had picked it up from a trade earlier, but I was afraid that I was going to miss out on a tight end that I really wanted to target. So I moved up 2 spots, and that 233 that I had picked up earlier, my 7th round pick, I went ahead and traded pick 106 and 233 for 104, and I drafted Tommy Tremble from Notre Dame. Probably at this point, besides Kyle Pitts, my favorite tight end in the draft. I like the way he blocks. I think he's underrated in the passing game. I think he's only going to get better. He needs to improve his route running skills, but I think he will in the future. And once he does, he will be big time for the 49ers. Instant upgrade over Ross Dwelley. Also could signal the end of Charlie Warner because of the blocking skills that he can do. Somebody that can play inline and play an H-back role is hard to find in the draft. This guy can do it all. This guy fits the mold of what the 49ers do, what they want, what they're looking for. He is Ross Dwelley and Charlie Warner combined. You put them together in their strengths, and this guy is it. So it'd be a nice compliment for George Kittle. That's why I had to trade up and make sure I got him.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting pick.
Yeah, Horst, you also picked him. I don't know why you... Oh, I do know why you did.
Yeah, it's quite a good pick.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to say this in Horst. He's a little intimidating.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Big physical presence there.
He is. So my next draft pick is 121. I had kind of, maneuvered around and ended up with 121 from earlier.
It's true.
And it was time for me to strike on a wide receiver. There were some guys that I like. A lot of the guys that I enjoy are kind of in this range. And so I went ahead and got the wide receiver from Clemson, Cornell Powell. To me, he's just an impressive athlete. He's big. He's physical. He ran a 4.5 at his pro day, which was faster than I ever thought he was going to be able to run. He can play outside or he can play in the slot. He's a big-time position receiver. He will help out in the red zone and convert on first downs. He'll be a nice replacement for Kendrick Bourne and fill the role that Kendrick Bourne was able to fill. And so this guy will take that spot and he will run with it. To me, he's a big-time talent to be able to add, especially at 121 in the draft. You're getting a guy that's going to benefit the team and that you can plug and play in year one.
Yeah, that's what this is all about when your Super Bowl window is open, is getting the team better right now.
100%.
Big time. Like the move, like the pick up there.
All of it. A big ol' like.
Big ol' L?
For like.
Oh, L for like.
Yeah. I actually have one more pick.
Only one?
Well, I only won because I have my original 155. So basically, I've used everything behind it to use it to trade up to get the guys that I wanted to get. And at 155, I decided that I was going to trade back to 162 and try to redeem some of the draft capital that I had lost moving up for Zaven Collins. Yes, I will not be able to get equal value of a second and third round pick, but I can get something next year. And I did. I was able to pick up a 5th round pick in 2022. Which at least now will help with, be able to make sure that the draft next year at least has 5 or 6 picks and that we're not completely bare in the cupboard. So I moved back to 162, but that was as far as I could go. 7 picks back. I didn't want to move anymore because I didn't want to lose a extra edge rusher. And I know people are going to ask, why are you drafting an edge rusher? You already got Joe Tryon. We've already signed Ebucom. The reason is because when you get a special athlete that is 6'7", and 245, 250 pounds, you go ahead and take a chance on him because D Ford is on the back end now, with the injuries and everything. So I took Jordan Smith from UAB, went ahead and locked and loaded. I made sure that Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, and those guys are going to be struggling with our speed and athleticism. Now we can go with Nick Bosa, Ebucom, Jordan Smith, Joe Tryon, all those guys can rush off the edge. Our rotation is crazy good now. And so I wanted to make sure that we had that speed. Did I need this guy? No, this was a value pick, somebody that was going to make sure that we were ready to go in the future. And this guy 100% fills a major rotation need. Now you don't need Deion Jordan. You don't need any of those guys. You got the depth you need. And the defensive line is set for the future. And I mean, really, you're guarded in case Nick Bosa is not 100% coming back or D Ford can't play.
Yeah, Jordan Smith is a guy, I know we've all brought him up, especially starting with you a lot. Jordan Smith is a guy, if you have not watched his tape, watch it. He is a freak.
Yep. 100%. So this was my draft. These are the guys that I targeted, and these are the guys that I wanted to get, and I was able to maneuver my way around, luckily, and make it happen. These are the guys that I think fit the best for the 49ers. I think the big move, just same as you did, Alex, was moving up for Zaven Collins. Yeah. I'm not sure a lot of people are going to mock Zaven Collins to the 49ers, but we definitely are. But I'm curious what everyone else thinks as well about, what I did in this draft and if it makes sense for the 49ers.
Yeah, I really liked your draft. I thought it was interesting, and I thought it was really you. I thought it was the stuff you've been talking about. You didn't vary from it. You didn't try to please people. You pretty much picked the same, not the exact same, but for the most part the same guys you've been winning the whole time.
Yes.
So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little shocked by the Jordan Smith at the end. I figured with the Joe Tryon selection,
right,
you wouldn't go pull the trigger on him, and you did. And I like it. I like it a lot because I
Yeah.
think he has a lot of potential as well. Let us know what you think down below in that comment section. What do you think about the draft? You like it? What grade do you give it? Let us know about it. Let him hear about it specifically. He's ready to take all the smoke, any smoke that you got to throw at him. He's ready to start a civil war with you right now, today, in that comment section down below. Don't forget to like the video while you're down there as well. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and that notification bell.
Yeah, it's always hard to do a mock draft and then be able to kind of maneuver and pick the guys you want to get. And everyone has a different idea of which talent makes the most sense for the 49ers.
True.
This is just the way that I saw it at the time and the players that I value that I think fit the 49ers scheme.
Yeah, it's just been a lot of fun kind of playing GM.
It is, definitely. It's been a fun week so far. All of our mock drafts are out, so it should be good.
Compare them. Let us know what you think. Who did the best?
Yep.
We don't really care, but we know you do. Let us know about it down there. We got our live stream Thursday this week. That's right. Thursday.
Why are we bringing it to you a day early? Because we want to.
That's
right.
Mostly because of that. So make sure you're tuned in, ready to go Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. We'll see you then. And until next time, stay safe, 49ers fans.
Remember the right way.
It's always the 49ers way.